In 1969, the space race was about national pride and Cold War optics. In 2026, it's about $1 trillion return on investment. While the world watches the countdowns, CEOs and project managers are watching the cash flow and risk registers. But here's the shocking truth. The most successful space missions aren't measured by where they land, but by how they change the global market. Today, on Mini MBA Hub, we aren't just looking at rockets. We're breaking down the high-stakes project management that dictates the future of humanity. Why did Artemis 2 really stay in orbit? And how do billionaires justify spending billions on missions that are designed to fail? Let's dive into the MBA of the stars. My recent analysis of the Artemis 2 mission went viral because people wanted to know, why didn't they land? From a traditional perspective, not reaching the surface sounds like a half measure. But in the world of professional project management, this was a masterclass in scope management and risk mitigation. In any mega project, you have three constraints: time, cost, and scope. If NASA had pushed for a landing before the life support systems were 100% verified, they weren't just risking a rocket. They were risking $1 billion asset and decades of brand equity. In business, knowing when to pivot, or descoping, a project, is often more valuable than stubbornly following a plan into a disaster. We saw this with the Boeing 737 MAX crisis. Failure to descope leads to catastrophic brand loss. Now, let's talk about the invisible army. A mission doesn't just fail because of a leaky valve, it fails because of stakeholder misalignment. During the Apollo era, over 400,000 people worked on the mission. Today, that number is even more complex. You have primary stakeholders like NASA and SpaceX, but then you have secondary stakeholders, the thousands of vendors providing everything from high-grade sensors to the software running the guidance systems. As a project manager, your job isn't just to watch the timeline, it's to manage information silos. If the team building the heat shield isn't perfectly synced with the team building the capsule's frame, the project risks scope creep and massive cost overruns. We see this in corporate mergers all the time. If the stakeholders aren't aligned on the core value proposition, the entire merger collapses under its own weight. This is why communication is the #1 skill in any MBA curriculum. Think of the moon not as a destination, but as a platform. Much like Apple created the App Store to let others build value, NASA is building the Lunar Gateway to allow private companies to innovate. This is a fundamental shift from government-owned to public-private partnerships. By reducing the cost of entry, NASA is creating a new ecosystem. This is a classic, long-tail business strategy. The money isn't just in the rocket launch, it's in the lunar logistics, the satellite internet, and the data mining that follows. If you can control the platform, you control the market. This is the same strategy Amazon used to dominate cloud computing with AWS. Finally, we have to address the Mars bet. Mars is the highest risk project in history, but the billionaires investing in it are using a framework called high-velocity R&D. In the corporate world, we call this failing fast. You build a prototype, you break it, you learn, and you iterate. If you aren't breaking things in the testing phase, you're moving too slow for the market. In the space race, a failed test flight provides more data than 10 years of simulations. This is risk management at its most extreme, spending $100 million to fail today so you don't lose $10 billion tomorrow. The winner of the new space race won't be the one with the biggest engine, but the one with the most sustainable business model. Success in space and in business is about managing the unknown with a calculated plan. If you want to dive deeper into the project lifecycle of these missions, I've put together a breakdown of the Project Management Handbook for business leaders. Comment the word space below, and I'll send you the link. Don't forget to check out my video on Artemis 2, Power of Project Management, if you want to see the technical side of this breakdown. Subscribe to Mini MBA Hub to stay ahead of the curve. What business mystery should we solve next? Let me know in the comments.